What up? I'm Sasha. This is a Ladcast. Today we have probably the biggest episode ever with Moses Nyeman, a professional player for DC United. Oh yeah, he's 17 and did you know he's already started and played in the MLS? This kid's going to keep growing and he has boundless potential. Oh, check out his stats by the way. Anyways, great episode. We did not miss, talk through it all, and can't wait for you to hear. So let's get into it. When you made your debut for DC in a substitute appearance against the Philadelphia Union on August 30th, 2020. Take us back to that day.
It was a blessing for me. Just being in the squad that day and even getting on the field was just the icing on the cake. And it being the first of many, I pray that it's the first of many. And I was so happy because the game we were playing, we weren't winning.
Yeah.
But towards the end, when I played, I felt happy, even though we didn't win. I was able to make my debut, and I could just think back to all the sacrifices people made for me, especially my parents.
Yeah. So when you're in that locker room, you know, you're with guys that are a lot older, you double your age even. How does it feel to be sort of like maybe a small fish in potentially a big pond in that scenario?
The good thing is the guys don't make you feel like that. You feel like you're a piece of this huge puzzle. Maybe if you think about it like this, that you're also very key in the squad training, mentally, and even though you're not on the field playing, just be on the bench supporting. You're still important in the squad, and they make you feel like you're a part of the team. After
a few more substitute appearances, you eventually made your first start at just 16 years, 10 months, and 23 days old. What did you learn throughout your first 90 minutes of playing in the MLS against the Revolution?
I didn't even know it was that long ago, but now that you said it, it feels like probably a day ago for me. I can still remember almost everything. I was nervous for sure. All I could think about was doing the simple things, just getting my job done. Because individually, if I do my job, we'll look good collectively. Yeah. And just thinking about that. And it started even way before the game day. The trainings, the rest day, and that's everything that I could think about just going through my head. I have to get this right. You know, very first start. And they're for sure putting their trust in me to be putting me in the starting 11 amongst those veterans and very key players in the team as well.
You're playing against guys like Matt Turner and Lee Nguyen, who are, you know, very outstanding professionals in the MLS. Do you get a chance to be starstruck, or, you know, are you just playing your game? It's business as usual.
At that point, most of the time, I'm being honest, I don't really know who my opponents are. I'm talking about individually. I mean, we do a video session about who we're playing and all that. So we learn from that who they are and what they're capable of. But I just know you as another player.
Pretty crazy to think about from like on my perspective or the listener. You know, we're watchers. It's like, oh my God, you're playing against these guys. But for you, it's maybe a little bit different. You're 1 year down in the big leagues in your first year of MLS. What have you gained in terms of experience in this first year?
There was a lot of things that happened in the first year, and it was something that I was told before even becoming a professional player. I'm not going to say it's not hard to be a professional player, but it's the very least to keep yourself at that level and constantly staying consistent in what you do at that level is the hardest. And I learned it within my first 2 or 3 months. I think that's what I take from it, consistency at that level.
Makes sense. What's next? What's your next year, your 5 years? Do you have any ideas yet or for the future?
Yeah, for right now, of course, it's MLS, and there are so many moving parts right now with the league and everything else. But I'm trying to be ready so that whenever we start, I will already be prepared and to show what I've got and even improve on what I've got right now. It might be taking another step forward, maybe staying in the starting 11, being a much more impactful player on this squad. And we could see how it goes from there.
All the hype, all right, is around Americans going to Europe. Is that something that's in your mind yet, or is it just, one day at a time, one game at a time?
Of course, it's something that's in my mind. It's not gonna happen right away, but
yeah,
it's something that I look forward to. Something that drives me. So it's a goal that I want to accomplish, and certainly I think I can do it. But right now, is the task at hand is dominate where I am right now.
Well, of course, you actually did make your way to Europe already. Let's take it back to 2019 when you traveled down to the Westfalenstadion, take on a trial at Borussia Dortmund at the better known as Signal Iduna Park. What do you remember of this experience?
Astonishing. That's the word for it. So much energy, and I couldn't even believe my eyes. Like I was in the stadium. I wasn't to where all the crazy stuff goes on, like behind the yellow wall. But
oh man,
that's where I was looking most of the time for sure, and it just looks so phenomenal. And the game was even better because they won.
Mm.
I think like 4 or 5 goals. It was such a great experience to be at that club for sure.
You came in there as Liberian American, and there is that either hype sometimes around American players in that they are the players that are really wanted right now in some of the big leagues. But yet again, there could be still that that sort of belief that Americans don't have what it takes. These soccer players aren't necessarily can make it in European football.
I don't think it was like that for me, but I thought I did well when I got there, but it was progressively. The first day I was nervous. Second day I started to get my feet, and as we went on in the training sessions, I started to adapt, and I thought it ended very, very well for me. And another thing, it's so cold over there.
Yeah.
And playing in the cold is something different.
Mm.
And that was one of the factors that I had problems with.
Mm.
But overall, they didn't really look at me as maybe I'm taking it wrong, but they just looked at me as another player of theirs.
You noticed the cold. What other differences do you notice between the German style and your time at Dortmund versus DC or Loudon United?
What I didn't expect was how physical they were.
Okay.
Because most of the time when you hear about football in Europe, it's all tactical, and everyone's very tactically developed, and well, they are, but they're also physical. That's something that took me a surprise.
How did Loudon and the USL Championship help your progression as a player?
They were a good bridge for me when it comes to transitioning to MLS. The physicality was one step ahead of academy, and the speed of play was one step ahead of the academy, and the mentality to play at Loudon was also a step of the academy. At Loudon, it's really not development anymore. It's a professional team, and you have to get results. Even in the MLS, it's even higher because it's the first league.
How do you have to adapt your game to be able to compete there?
I had to think quicker because, well, I could probably outrun some of them, but maybe not outbody some of them. I just had to think quicker because you don't want to get caught on the ball if you're at a disadvantage with body mass or size. When you think quicker, you know what to do next. It's much easier for you.
For young players coming up, they're always interested in how exactly do you become part of an MLS academy. There's no handbook on it. How did you get there in your experience?
It was through a lot of other connections outside the academy. For me, I first went to an affiliated club with the academy, and through that, I was able to get a tryout at the academy. It's a lot easier now, probably, that you can send your videos on maybe some social media website, and coach could take a look at you. All
right. So outside of the beautiful game, what's Moses Nyeman up to? Are you a big Travis Scott fan, a fashion icon, a graphic designer? What's up with it?
I mean, I would say I'm pretty nasty at Fortnite.
Okay.
But that would be a lie. I'm not good at Fortnite. I play FIFA a lot. Actually, not a lot, sometimes there's like a time where I would play a lot, and there's some times where I wouldn't play at all for like a month. But I play video games and do a little bit of art, drawing specifically.
Nice.
Not very good at painting, but yeah, for the most part, that's what I do. Just call friends.
Does next year, if you are registered, do you get a FIFA card? Is that how it works?
To get a FIFA card?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I know you had to be like 17 to be in the game,
Right.
but I'm not quite sure about the card. I think one of my teammates already has a card, so
Yeah.
I don't think you have to be 18. Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be pretty cool. It's always dope to see, like, I'm in the game. I made
But
it.
when I first saw it, it was something special.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely went to play a game straight up.
Yeah. It, FIFA does have that ability to really grow the game. Of course. Thanks for coming on, and I hope to do it again. We'll see.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Moses. Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
All right. See you later. Thanks.
See you.
Bye.